In today's video, how to run a legally legit social media contest. Stick around. Hey out there, welcome to Wedding Industry Law. My name is Rob. I am a wedding industry attorney. And if you're out there, you're a wedding professional and you're thinking about running some type of sweepstakes, some type of contest on your social media platform of choice, then today's video is for you. We're going to be talking all about how to do this legally. But we're not doing it alone. I brought in an extra special guest. I brought in the big guns, attorney Ashley Bosto. After starting her legal career at the Colorado Court of Appeals, she became a yoga mindfulness teacher and then launched a law firm with her law school best friend and former wedding photographer, Allie Moore. And together, Ashley and Allie support wedding vendors and wellness coaches in feeling more empowered and less overwhelmed by the law through custom contracts, business law education, and consultations that are both smart and approachable. And I would also recommend, I'm going to have in the show notes a video that goes into a lot more depth featuring Ashley about this particular topic. So we're only going to scratch the surface. I don't know why I just made quotation marks. We're only going to be scratching this. That's me scratching the surface. We're only going to be scratching the surface in today's video. So if you want to learn more, I would highly recommend that you follow that link, watch Ashley's video, and you'll be even more educated on this topic. One important disclaimer before we get into the video, and that is to say that although Ashley and I are both attorneys, we are not in fact your attorney. So this video is not intended to be legal advice and you should not take it that way. This is just for general information purposes only. Legal advice necessarily requires understanding your specific situation, and since neither of us do, we cannot give you advice over this forum. We highly recommend, if you're considering doing a sweepstakes or a contest, to talk to an attorney in your jurisdiction. The first thing to really wrap your head around when you're thinking about running a contest on social media is to understand the words that we're using, like what is a contest versus a sweepstakes, because these differences can be very important.
Yeah, there are differences. There are important distinctions, because the big thing that we want to keep in mind when it comes to social media contests is that we're not running illegal lotteries. The law doesn't like lotteries or illegal gambling, so we're not going to run those. We may run contests, giveaways, or sweepstakes, and those are all different. In short, sweepstakes are by chance. It's totally random. People submit their information and it's like you pull a name out of a hat and that person wins. A contest has some objective criteria. So it's like there is a test of some kind and there's a judge who's going to choose based on particular standards who wins based on whether they met those standards.
So from a broad standpoint, you are probably going to be safer if it's free to participate in your contest or giveaway. You want to get as far away from pay per play as you can, because this in many jurisdictions mimics gambling and it mimics the lottery.
It's illegal if there's a pay to play. So you can run a totally by chance sweepstakes that might look like a lottery, like people think of that swirling names in a hat kind of thing. And that might be all right, depending on the state, the laws of the state where you are. But if there's some kind of consideration, what we talk about with contract law, where somebody is paying money in order to get more chance of winning, then it becomes an illegal lottery or gambling. So illegal lottery and gambling are synonymous, interchangeable.
But where are these definitions? Where are the ramifications coming from? Who's setting the rules?
There are rules at every level. So the federal law has the FTC, the Trade Commission, that protects consumer rights and also makes illegal gambling. And states have laws against gambling as well. Then there are state laws that also have consumer protection rules and are what we're looking at to make sure that we're not running an illegal lottery. States also have different levels of strictness, like Colorado, where I'm from, might have more spacious rules around what's allowed than Georgia, for example. And the laws of the state where you are, as well as the laws of the state where your participants are, may apply. So I always love to see rules that are sort of conservatively written to apply to a lot of places, because if you're running a contest on Instagram, hopefully you're reaching people all over the country, and you don't want to be too concerned about where they are and what those particular rules are. And then, yeah, just like you said, you nailed it. The platform also has rules. There are terms of service that come along with using any platform, including Instagram and Facebook. And so if you're running a promotion on those platforms, you got to make sure that you're complying with their terms of service. And the best way to do that is to have a final sort of governing law, and that is your official rules that you write as the host of the contest or sweepstakes.
So you might be scratching your head saying to yourself, Rob, I don't care. I'm going to do what I want to do. I mean, people get away with murder. Like, didn't you see the Cecil Hotel Netflix documentary? I mean, why should I worry? Well, in fact, there are 3 ways that you can get got if you don't run a proper sweepstakes on social media.
One, you break the law and there might be fines or even jail time in really severe instances. I don't like to scare anybody, but if it's like really, really big, that's a potential penalty for violating consumer rights. Then the platform has remedies. Typically kicking you off the platform is the biggest one, or just taking down your contest, which would be a big bummer if you put a lot of time into it. And then there are 2 parties to a contest. When you write those rules, you're entering into a contract with your participants, and maybe they feel like their rights were violated. So you might have civil remedies, have people open yourself up to a potential lawsuit if you don't run a legal contest.
So you have to be compliant with the federal law. You have to be compliant with the state law. But in fact, that is not all. Poet didn't know it. You also have to be compliant with the terms of service of the social media platform that you're using.
Whenever you use a platform that you don't own, you're entering into a contract and agreeing to comply with their terms of service. So we do that all of the time when we create an account and say, yep, I agree to comply with the terms of service. And when it comes to Instagram and Facebook, some of those terms of service govern contests and sweepstakes. At a high level, Facebook has more rules than Instagram, because Facebook has all of these different functionalities. They have pages and groups, and in short, you can typically run promotions on a business page or in a group, but you can't run it on your personal page. Instagram doesn't have groups and pages. There's no distinction there. So the rules that apply to a contest on your Instagram personal feed apply wherever you post it on IG. And the rules generally, if you just put yourself in the minds of the people who own these platforms, they want to make sure that people are accurately using their platform. So the big one is they don't like to see inaccurate tags. That's one that I see all the time. If you say tag yourself in this photo and whoever's tagging themselves actually isn't featured in the photo, then that's typically going to violate the terms of service, because it makes for an inaccurate use of the platform. Like, everybody loves their algorithms. You don't want to mess it up for Facebook or Instagram either. Facebook has other rules, like you can't promote a contest on your personal page. You can't require people to leave you a review. That's another one. They want reviews for businesses to be authentic and not based on wanting to win a prize.
Now, Instagram terms of service are going to be different from the Facebook terms of service, but Ashley says there are some best practices that would apply regardless of what platform that you're using.
So first thing is have official rules, and you want the official rules to make really clear one big thing, which is that there is no purchase required to enter, and making a purchase does not increase your chances of winning. That's how you make it super clear that it is not an illegal lottery or gambling. But your official rules also serve other purposes, like making clear that you are the sponsor and it's not hosted by Facebook or Instagram. That's another terms of service thing. And you can include liability waivers and all kinds of other protections for yourself in the official rules. For a contest, you want to make sure that it's fair, that the people who are entering into it understand what they need to do exactly to win. What are the entry requirements? What are the particular standards you're applying to choose? Who's the judging panel, and how are they deciding who's winning? And when will you be notified that you've won? Those are the things I would include to run a contest.
So, as I mentioned at the top of the video, there will be a link in the description with Ashley's video going in depth on this topic. So if you want to learn more, I highly recommend that you follow that link and watch that video. And Ashley, how can the people get a hold of you?
I like the best way to connect with us is on Instagram at Creatives Learn Law. That's our law firm name. Our website is creativeslearn.com. So connecting with us either on IG or just visiting us on our website is probably the best way to connect. Our favorite thing to do is draft custom flat rate contracts. So we like to be really transparent and to make customized agreements that work for people. We also have a small trademark practice, and we run legal consultations on any issue that you might be facing, whether it's a client dispute or a question about how your contract applies. We also do contract review. In addition to serving Colorado clients one-on-one, we also have a shop filled with contract templates for the wedding and wellness industry so that we can help provide more quality legal written agreements to people all over the country.
I hope that you found this video informative. If you did, please be sure to like and subscribe. If you got a question, leave one in the comment section below. New videos just like this out every Monday on wedding industry law. And with that, folks, we'll see you next week.